We're going to talk a little bit about bar chords on the A, starting on the A string. So you know you have A minor. Remember, A minor is the same shape as E major, just moved down one string. So every finger, keep the same shape and just move everything down a string. And then start on the A string. That's A minor. So E major, move everything down one, just play the A down. That's A minor. When you're doing a bar chord is essentially you're taking what, this is the nut, right? And if you're just doing open, right, think of it as being fretted on the 0 fret, right? So an E is fretted on the 0 fret, and it's an E, the root of the E is that low E string, right? So if you think about taking that same shape, and let's do it with the middle through pinky, and it's easier to see, right? So this is on the 0 fret using the nut, right? Now if I move that up, 1 fret up, and now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to use my finger as that nut, right? So you're effectively pressing down with all these with that index finger, and you're keeping the same shape as the E. Now the root is this bottom note, so that's an F. So E, half step to F. Right? So E, move it up 1, that's F. Move it up another half step, that's F sharp. Then G sharp, A sharp, B, C. You get the point, right? So it's basically taking that E major shape and using your finger to move this nut up. So F, G, A, B, C, D, E, right? So that's bar chords with your root on the large E string, the 6th string, right? Now you can do the same thing with for major, and those are all major, by the way. If you want minor, you just lift that middle finger. All right, so that's major, minor. Just like this is E major, then take out that one, it's E minor, right? So you can do the same thing for bar chords with the root of the chord on the A string or the 5th string, right? So if you've got E major here, you got A major. Go up, go sit. You got A major on the starting on the 5th string. That's A major. Now you can do the same thing, but moving this nut up, barring, but that it's difficult to do when you have because it's just difficult to do. That's all there is to it. So so that's your majors, right? So if you have A, 2 steps up to B, then half step to C, D, whole step up to D major, right? So you can do it that way, or you can do, some people, you can bar the, so you're barring you're moving the nut with this hand, with this finger, sorry, and then you can play the major with this ring finger pushing down all of these and just not playing that high E string. So okay, and those are all major. So that's, if this is A major, right, or A major, right, then you move 2 steps up. When I say steps, each fret is a half step. So A to B is a whole step. B to C is a half step. All right. So anyway, so that's your major bar chords with the root on the 5th string. Right. So A, B, C. Now you can do the same thing with a minor. So A minor is this shape, right? Just take your E, go up. So there's your A minor. Now if you do the same thing, barring the moving the nut, you know, using your finger as the nut, move it up and have that same shape. So A minor, B minor, C minor, D minor, E minor, right? So those are your bar chords there, and you can also, if you remove that middle finger, it's basically like a sus chord. So so that's major, minor, sus, right? So it's usually sus. I think the second is suspended, but so minor, then lift that up. You can do, and again, go with the bar chord, do the same thing. Minor, sus, right? So a lot of times if you're playing, if it calls for a B major, you can play the sus, which is basically doesn't have a third. That's why it kind of works. So this is B major, B minor, B sus. So you're just using this index finger to pretend like it's this nut. So you're basically moving that up. So now, so A minor up to B minor. So that's bar chords, and just when it calls for a B major, you know, it's really, you know, the technical fingering is like this. That's really difficult to do for most people. You can do it this way, just don't play that high E, or a lot of times I'll just do the either this, which is what's called a power chord, which is just a root and a fifth, or, and so for the Hootie and Blowfish song, I think it's a, so it's basically, you know, that's kind of a B sus, right? To an E. And when you're playing that B, don't play that low E string, because that is technically not in the chord. Although sometimes, actually, it doesn't sound bad on that one, and they may actually play it that way. But in that case, you're barring all the you're barring the E as well as the A, so you're doing all of these. And actually, I think that's how he plays it, because you get that nice bottom end, as opposed to without that E, right? So that's good ones to practice for your bar chords, is that the B, and it's kind of a sus, like I say. So it's basically, you're barring the 2nd fret, so you're basically playing all those, and then your ring finger is on the 4th string, 4th string, what is that, 4th fret, and then your pinky's on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and then these are with the bar. To E. that's it for that one.